Hey, Kita Vav. This is the first of two videos on Aseret HaDvarim, or Aseret HaDibrote, commonly known as the Ten Commandments. Aseret HaDvarim is what the Ten Commandments are called in the Torah, and Aseret HaDibrote is what they are called in rabbinic literature. However, neither of those two names, which is how the Jews refer to them, translates to the Ten Commandments. And that is exactly where we are going to begin our studies, with a discussion of the translation of the name. The first time we are introduced to Aseret HaDvarim is in Shemot 20, 1 through 14, which is in Parashat Yitro. However, they are not referred to by name until Shemot 34:28, which is Parashat Kitisa, which is actually 4 whole parshiot later. This group of 10 laws is referred to by name twice more in the Torah, again by Aseret HaDvarim, both other times in Sefer Devarim, which you know is several books later. Sefer Shemot is the second book, Sefer Devarim is the 5th book. But both times they are referred to, again as I said earlier, as Aseret HaDvarim, not Aseret HaMitzvot, which would translate to the Ten Commandments. Again, in Hebrew, the Ten Commandments would be Aseret HaMitzvot. Okay, so what's the difference? To begin, Aseret HaDvarim or Aseret HaDibrote translates as the 10 statements, the 10 words, the 10 pronouncements, or even the 10 things. So you might say, so what's the big deal? But there is a big difference between a statement and a commandment, and that influences very much how the Jews look at these 10 laws, which are commonly referred to as the 10 Commandments. The word commandment connotes an independent order, a command, or something we must do or must not do. It takes on a higher level of importance than a statement. We'll get back to this after we review the actual Aseret HaDibrote in the next video. Before we move on, however, I want to introduce one more word by which the group of laws is called. The direct translation of Aseret HaDibrote into Greek is Decalogi, which is how the Jews living in ancient Alexandria referred to them. This gave way to the more modern term Decalogue, which is how many people refer to this group of laws. Now I want to take you back for a moment and look at what is taking place in the Torah prior to God speaking the Aseret HaDvarim. The following is taken from the translation as it appears in your Chumash, the red Eitz Chaim. Quote, as morning dawned, there was thunder and lightning and a dense cloud upon the mountain, and the very loud blast of the horn. All the people in the camp trembled. Moshe led the people out of the camp towards God, and they took their places at the foot of the mountain. Har Sinai was all in smoke, for the Lord had come down upon it in fire, and the whole mountain trembled violently. The blare of the horn grew louder and louder as Moshe spoke, and God answered him in thunder. The Lord came down upon Har Sinai and called Moshe to the top. Moshe went up. The Lord said to Moshe, go down, warn the people not to break through to the Lord to gaze, lest many of them perish. The priests also who come near to the Lord must stay pure, lest the Lord break out against them. Go down and come back together with Aharon. And Moshe went down to the people and spoke to them. And now we actually would begin with the Aseret HaDvarim, and it says, God spoke all these words, saying. Okay, and that is where we're going to stop today. We're not going to go on to the actual Aseret HaDibrote. So I want to just discuss very briefly that what I read was really quite a series of events leading up to the actual statements which we have not yet looked at. Your assignment is to tell me what you see as the reason for all the fanfare, the smoke, the mountain trembling, the horn blowing, the thunder and lightning. Also, why do you think God sent Moshe back to be with the people when he announces these laws? Why didn't he allow Moshe to stay up on the mountain with him? Please take the time to write down your answers to these two questions. We will be going over them in class. Okay, we'll continue the lesson in the next video. Bye bye.